Chairman and members of the committee, thank you for allowing me to speak today. My name is Tina McKinney, and I'm the mother of Memphis police officer Joseph McKinney, lovingly known as Rusty. Rusty died in the line of duty April 12th, 2024 in Memphis, Tennessee. He was just 26 years old. He was a devoted father who had just purchased wedding rings and was eager to build a life with his fiancée. Rusty lived a lifetime only few get to have. He had a large family who adored him, and he loved to travel. If you said you wanted to go anywhere, he was there with you. He wanted to go. His eagerness was undeniable. He was a good kid, the kind every parent hoped for. He lived a full life with an eagerness to help, and it lasted his entire short life, way too short. Rusty was an Eagle Scout, a distinction that takes years of dedication and discipline and service, from camping in every kind of Memphis, Mid-South weather, to countless hours of community service. He lived the values of scouting every day, and it shaped the man he became. Deep down, he always wanted to be a police officer. When he was 5 or 6, he would dress up as an officer for Halloween and ride on his electric police motorcycle all through the yard. When he was older, looking for a career, he would chat with officers who encouraged him to join the police department. It's hard to write about him. I feel cheated, and I feel robbed of all the what could have been and the life he could have had. He was loved by so many, and after the news of his death, stories poured in from friends, co-workers, and strangers. A young man shared how Rusty made him feel welcome when he had started his first job. He was nervous, but Rusty took him in and made him feel a part of the team, and that kindness Rusty showed him stayed with him. And a co-worker of mine had told me her daughter had received a ticket from Rusty when he was on the force, and shared how she remembered him as kind and respectful. But the one thing everyone said, from the hundreds who attended his service, was that Rusty and our family did not deserve this tragedy. And they were right. This wasn't just a tragedy, it was a failure of leadership and a failure of accountability. My son was a police officer, but he was also a victim. A victim of repeat offenders, one who was a juvenile, and a victim of failed policies and failed leaders. God gives us a life, but he doesn't promise how long it will last or how good it will be. Instead, he gives us choices that shape the life we live. And Rusty chose service, compassion, and integrity. Those two criminals, they repeatedly chose violence and a life of crime. Those young men were out on bond despite being arrested just weeks earlier for serious crimes, and they are responsible for my son's death through their actions and by their choices they made. Dangerous repeat offenders are not isolated incidents for the city of Memphis. It is a result of years of political neglect, soft on crime policies, and a justice system that has prioritized leniency over accountability, and judges who release high-risk offenders and district attorneys who start pilot programs to identify cases to downgrade to misdemeanors. Management and long delays with issuing car tags made it impossible for officers to enforce basic traffic laws, contributing to a breakdown in public safety. Memphis has also been losing officers, not just to violence, but to attrition. They have faced reduced pay, loss of benefits, and lack of support from city leaders. The Memphis Police Department has struggled to retain talent while crime surged, and while our leaders debate referendums and engage in political optics, family like mine pay the ultimate price. Public officials entrusted with leadership who have repeatedly failed to uphold the standards of their position raising serious concerns about judgment and accountability. Some proposed defunding law enforcement and introduced proposals to cut police budgets. Those proposals were widely criticized and widely rejected. The school board has mismanaged children's futures in Memphis. Former Shelby County School Superintendent Dr. Murray Fagan stated many members of the board chose chaos over children, and I believe the statement to be true. Students' poor performance is beyond poor. Our school system ranks in the bottom 50% statewide. Students lack basic math skills and reading skills. Despite spending exorbitant amounts of money per student, the district has failed to deliver results. Millions in state and federal funds have been spent, yet proficiency in some areas has dropped as low as 5%. Instead of investing in proven solutions, the board has spent millions on studies and administrative overhead. Educational failures are not separate from the rise in crime. They are deeply connected. A weak education system feeds weak communities, and weak communities suffer the consequences of crime and strained police. Accountability must be more than a word. It must be a standard. It must apply to individuals who commit violent acts and to those leaders whose decisions enable those acts. Without accountability, justice is incomplete and safety is compromised. Police officers take the job knowing the worst may happen, but it's up to those in the position of power to protect them. They ensure they have the best environment to work in and to know that the system will work together to make a safe place for all to call home. My son went to work, as do all officers, with a sense of hope and optimism that they can make a difference and a hope of coming home to the families who love them. I urge you to listen to the voices of grieving families like mine. Rusty deserved better. Memphis deserves better. Rusty had a job with MPD, but he was so much more to everyone in his personal life. We all lost so much when he was taken from us. My son died. He gave his last breath, saving a fellow officer and pushing her to the ground when the bullets started to fly. He gave his life serving a city that tragically did not protect him in return, and by continually allowing repeat offenders to be released and to commit more crimes. Crime has taken a toll on me, and I would not travel to Memphis unless it was necessary, and many individuals felt the same. But with the increased state troopers and federal agencies embedded in Memphis after the death of my son, Memphis is beginning to change. People are venturing out and people are trying to enjoy the city again. And they are thanking city officials for allowing those agencies to come in. Rusty died a hero. He protected others as he died. He gave his life. It's time for our leaders to protect those who remain, bring the National Guard, and keep the federal agencies who are involved in the city until criminals realize crime doesn't pay anymore in Memphis and playtime is over. Thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of my son and the family and our community in Memphis.
Thank you for your courage. You represent many, many other people. I see his handsome face there. It is unfortunately now the story of most major American cities. Dr. Levine, you may begin.
Chairman Van Drew, Ranking Member Crockett, Mr. Raskin, members of the subcommittee.